Well, howdy, howdy, howdy. Finally, senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. And remember, no matter who you are valid. Thumbs up for that. Well, hokey smokes. I was leaning forward to get something off of a shelf that's behind the box I have the webcam on. And the bottom of my rib cage, my ribs, the bone, was pressing up against the table that I have in front of me with my keyboard and such on it. And for whatever reason, I tried sucking in my gut to see if I could press myself up closer. There ain't no amount of sucking in your gut that's going to bring your bone in any closer to your body. it's the bottom of the gravity well. But that's how foolish and silly I've been this morning. Plus, it was therapy day. I've been trying to decompress, but it's 1:14, and I thought, hey, I might as well try and get something done. I got some things I've written down, and I'm going to just try and yammer. So, let's see what I have. Oh, I'm going to talk about this one. It's hard to see because, I wash my hands, like when I go to the bathroom and stuff. So you can't really see the wounds all that well, and the camera's not focusing up close there, but there's a tear there, and I got like a tear here, and just cuts and stuff like that. And there were rips on the inside of that finger too. And I'd been wondering for a while, what was causing this? Why was I getting all these like cuts? Just rips out of like someone took a knife and went slice, and took out that V-shaped chunk. Well, as it turns out, it's from tying my shoelaces. Either because I've gotten older and older skin is thinner, being as well the connective tissue underneath is thinner, which only gets worse as you get older. And it could be that because I'm just older and my skin is more delicate, that it's much more readily available for damage to occur. At the same time, for the past couple of years, I have been just lotioning up first I started with my lower legs, and then I started lotioning up my head and such. And then I pretty much lotion up everything but my abdomen and the like. So I use a lot of lotion, which means my hands get pretty lubed up. And I use lotion during the daytime periodically to try and make sure my skin stays hydrated. Well, if your skin is soft and you don't have calluses, that's going to kind of get torn up. So it's hard to say, but right now I'm being very careful to tie my shoelaces, which is irritating because I have to tie my shoelaces tight. Because if my shoes are loose, my feet are going to get jammed up into the front, and then it's going to just utterly negate the reason I bought the larger boots that I'm wearing. So I got to make sure they're tight enough to hold onto my legs and feet because they come up above the ankle. And they've got to be loose enough that they don't cut off circulation. So joy on that. Anyway, though, I have been trying to be a little bit more careful with my hands while I'm doing the tying. And I'm thinking of getting a softer kind of shoelace, because these are the laces that came with them, and they're work boots, so they're a rougher, more coarser material to tie the shoelaces are made of. So that might help right there if I got a softer kind of shoelace. Hard to say. We'll have to see what happens. Maybe I'll wear boots. Maybe my hands will re-toughen back up. Back when I was married to my wife, I drank a lot of sodas, 2-liter bottles, and I drank them right out of the bottle. And I would hold on to it with my hand up here with the lid, and they had a solid big ring that I would use to brace against my fingers. Then I would drink and then put it down. I developed a really solid amount of callus material through here to the point that I changed the way I was holding the bottle because I didn't like how much callus I was getting. So I can develop calluses. Maybe that's just what I need to do. Thumbs up. And I got a really, it's a tickly spot. Sometimes I'll get a little whisker that gets into an odd twist and then will touch the other whiskers in a way that when I talk, it goes tickle, tickle, tickle. And right now, every word that I say is making that little area in here go tickle, tickle, tickle. So that's fun. The joys of having whiskers. At least I only have to worry about tickles and stuff for trimmed hair up in this region of my body. So I'm past the age where trying to be excessively groomed in the nether regions is a viable and good option. Viable? No, that anything is viable. That what I meant was, who am I trying to impress but myself? And of course, I did have therapy today. And one of the first things that I was talking about with him, and I've mentioned it before with him, but yeah, he really verified. I mentioned my mental health has been on a downturn since, well, basically we got closer to election time. And since our election, it has been a precipitous downturn. And the thing is, most of his clients are reporting the same thing. There are very few of his clients that are reporting a feeling of happiness and future optimism. But most of his clients are like me, just and not doing well. So that's joyous. And I'm one of the lucky ones. I am a white male. I cannot, well, I can imagine, I can only imagine what's going on for anybody else in a much more vulnerable demographic at this time, because oh boy, what a scary time to be a United States citizen for everyone. Ugh. But yeah, point being, this is a very common thing amongst most of his clientele. I am not alone in my mental health not being even as good as it was a few months back. I have been going downhill for a time, not a nosedive. You know, it is down and it is going down, but it's not a nosedive at the end of the world. It's just oy vey. But some of the other things, I was watching another guy, literally in this case, it was a guy, his channel, his video, and he was talking about authenticity and YouTubers and how hard it is to be a YouTuber, because I'm talking about YouTube again, and how some things are just like a plague on the platform, you know, like the drama channels where they're reporting on things that are happening with another channel because they've been reporting on something that happened over at this channel and they've been reporting on over at here, and it's just one big horrific food chain that way. But now, YouTube, even though it might still have the broadcast yourself, and the way it started is broadcast yourself, there is no way that anyone can compete against the big boys, because someone like Mr. Beast has at least 250 people on his team and millions on a budget. All you can do is really be authentic, be yourself, and try. which is one of the things that I wanted to say, because he also talked about how really the only thing you've got is yourself. And so why there are these channels and these people out there that treat their audience like only as a resource and just scam and don't care about the impression that leaves on their name for doing that. Whereas when I was hearing all that, I just want to say, because I was thinking about all this, thank you so very much for absolutely every one of you that watches. I have no budget. I'm just an old man who's got physical and mental issues, who is struggling to not be homeless, and you chose to watch this video. Thank you. Now, there's not many people that watch my vlog, and frankly, I don't blame you, but for those of you that do, thank you. It is very, very appreciated. I started the channel so that I wouldn't die when my wife died. As especially men in that situation, again, have only a 30% chance of actually living through that sort of thing. And I wanted to be one of those in the 30%. So I started my channel and I'm still here. So thank you so very much if you watch. I wouldn't scam anyone even if I wasn't a YouTuber. But I can tell you now, I'm not going to scam anyone. Number one, I don't like that sort of stuff. And number two, I'll never be big enough. But number three, yeah, which is still back to number whatever. I don't like hurting people at all. I don't even like hurting people's feelings. I will eat food I don't like rather than tell someone I don't like what I'm eating. I'm not going to be scamming anybody. And I'm only bringing that up just because I'm a tiny channel and I'm shrinking all the time. But even if I was a bigger channel, if I ever try to sell you something, know that it's not me. I don't even look at sponsorship stuff. Number one, they're all scams. Number two, I don't want to do that. That's not why I started my channel. I started my channel to live, not to scam people and make money. Making legit money, I don't mind that. And I thank every one of you that helps me out through the Patreon. But I didn't start it so that I could scam people. The whole thing that started this is just my way of saying I don't understand those people that scam people. I don't understand people that hurt other people. That's part of my neurodivergence. Plus, I'm just a good person. He said, virtue signaling. No, I am, in my own ways, I am good. In my own ways, I am Midland. In some of ways, I am a very terrible person. I have done many things in my past that I still revisit in my head today just to punish myself because they were horrible. So if you see me anywhere like in the comments and such, I don't sell anything. I don't want to sell anything. I don't even want to come across the presentation of it. It's just a scam. The same thing I'm talking about. I don't understand scammers. Anyway, though, I can't even tell how long I've been talking. I have been thinking a lot about my cosmic horror and cryptid setting and inside out and multiverse stuff. I just forget most everything. If I don't write it down, I forget most everything because of my ADHD. And so, especially when I turn on my webcam, it's like I've hit the reset button on my short-term memory, and I forget everything. So, again, thank you so very much for each and every one of you that watches. There's not many anymore, but it is appreciated, definitely. Especially these days. Oh, But there was one last thing I wanted to talk about. I am having the devil's own time. I got my microphone right here. Figuring out how to do sound stuff. Because I will adjust the sound on this thing so that it comes out okay. And then I will record the sound for Disco Elysium, and you can't hear me. So yesterday I turned up the thing, I turned up the recording levels so that it would record louder. And it maxed out the levels so much that I had to bring them down, and when I did, my voice sounded all weird because of the clipping. It's either you can't hear me and I have to use Filmora to use its normalization to bring the volume up to audible levels, or it's so loud that all the peaks are well above the range that it can allow. And so it's all clipped. I can't figure things out. I don't know why it goes wham or wham, but never right in the middle. It'll be wham. So it'll make, it's recording at 21 decibels and it did that. Let's record at 20. Wham! Now I have to use the auto normalization because recording at 20, you can't hear it. I don't know, but it drives me nuts. Thumbs up for that. And of course, call to action. Hey, if you could like, comment, share, subscribe, that would be very cool. I am stimming like mad without, not just off beat to what I'm saying. It's driving me nuts. So if you're even slightly obsessive, my apologies for all that. If you could like, comment, share, subscribe, that would be very, very cool. Definitely a thumbs up. And each one of my Patreon patrons, you are very beautiful and awesome people. Don't let anyone ever try to convince you otherwise, because they are lying. Thumbs up. You make my life, well, I can eat at the end of the month with your help. Thumbs up and thank you. If you've left me a comment, you too are a beautiful and awesome person in your own way. And again, don't let anyone ever try to tell you otherwise. They are lying. I read every comment that YouTube shows me. I heart or thumbs up every comment that YouTube allows me to. And I love ADHD. And I answer as many comments as my nerve compression will allow me to. So thumbs up, thank you. Well, hokey smokes, I'm going to edit, render, upload. I still have to call to make an appointment for the cardiologist. I tried yesterday, and after being on hold for 40 minutes, I put it down. So joy on that. So I'm going to try again today. Here's a hoping it goes better. Hopefully you can get done the things that you need to get done, and if you cannot, please do not beat yourself up. It won't help you get it done better next time, and you do deserve better. And if you have watched this long, I wanted to talk about these, but I'm going to have to do it later on another day. If you have watched this far, if you could write Bigelow down in the comments, that would be very cool to let both me and the YouTube algorithm know that even though it's a small number of people that watch these videos, at least a few people do. So that would be very cool. Thumbs up and thank you. It is appreciated. I got to remember to talk about this tomorrow. Hopefully I will. Yay. So, until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that is indeed a very, very good thing. Hokey smokes. I look so tired. I'm exhausted. I go to bed at 1 o'clock at night. And at 7 o'clock, I am wide awake because I hurt. But I am wide awake because it's taken me a good hour, sometimes 2, to reach that state. So I get about 1 or 3 hours of sleep a night. It's fun. I am very, very exhausted like 90% of the time. Thumbs up for that.